Okay, I'm gonna be remodeling this bathroom and I'm gonna film it because for some reason I've found that keeps me a little bit more accountable. I'm not sure why, but it's what I've experienced with car projects. It's gonna be pretty rough cuts, but at least it'll kind of give me something to do on the side. My plan really is to replace this flooring because this is kind of cheap flooring that was put on top of original, I don't know, whatever that stuff is that you lay down on top of what I'm assuming is the subfloor or whatever is down there. I really don't know anything about construction, like at all, but I'm a fairly capable mechanic, so I figured that means I'm at least able to figure things out. But yeah, new floor, probably maybe new toilet. This one's just ancient, but we'll see. Definitely a new vanity. You can see this one's pretty haggard. New mirror, medicine cabinet. Paint the doors. You can see these have been painted a number of times and they're kind of dirty beyond cleaning. I like this old hardware. I can maybe get that to work better. Maybe that's too ambitious. I don't know, but it would be nice if it would work properly. Like new light switches. I don't know what I'll do about the window surround. Probably a new fan. I might tile everything or tile the ground and the shower surround at least. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this by following videos that I found on YouTube of how to remodel things. And I'm going to try and just take it off in little bite-sized steps. That way I don't overwhelm myself because I know that I'm able to do it and it'll be good practice for when I do other work on this house. And I'll just be a lot more comfortable letting other people use this bathroom when I'm done, just because it's just really old and beat up. You know, it's not too bad right now, but I'd like it to be nicer. I really like the look of mid-century modern and kind of some modern Spanish or Spanish revival or Mexican influence. But so I might try and incorporate that a little bit as far as what colors I choose or materials I go with. But it is kind of like an older orchard farmhouse. I hate the look of like modern farmhouses that are painted white and black, so I don't want to do any kind of like rustic thing. It just kind of bothers me. But if I can kind of give it a more timeless, classic and durable look, then I'll be happy with that. So who knows, maybe it'll turn out, maybe it won't. But I figure if I just do a couple small steps at a time, that I'll be able to get it done in a reasonable amount of time. And I'm kind of giving myself some grace with that as well. I'm gonna say, you know, like at least 3 months. Fortunately, I live here alone right now and there's a second main bathroom that I can use. So it takes the pressure off a little bit. I'm gonna start by turning the water off to everything. There might be some larger parts of this project where I have to turn off water to the house temporarily, like if I'm redoing valves, but hopefully that will only be temporarily, and maybe I can cap off the lines or something so that I can use water elsewhere in my house, since that's important, of course. Another thing that gives me some confidence with this is that I have a completely unfinished basement. Like, you know, dirt floor is unfinished, which I can show here in just a second. Here's that basement, and all of the plumbing is exposed up here, which one of the most intimidating things for me about construction is not knowing what the heck is going on behind the walls and everything. And this helps a little bit with that. At least in my mind it does somehow. Because I'm able to access everything more easily. So fortunately I've accumulated an okay number of tools over the years. Basic things, shop vacs. Lowe's had this oscillating cutting tool on sale. And screwdrivers, drills, wrenches, all kinds of stuff. You can see I have a sawzall. I also have a table saw and a chop saw in the garage, which will take a lot of stress off of this project. Well, 30 seconds in, I've encountered my first problem. I turned off the water to the sink, but there's still a constant stream coming out. So it looks like this valve isn't able to be turned off all the way. But my solution for now that I just found out is I was able to turn it on all the way and then turn it off as hard as I possibly could. And it seems to have stopped 99%, so I can handle a little trickle for now. All right, so I broke the silicone seal with this little 5-in-1 tool, disconnected the drain, the P-trap, and after kind of working it a little bit, I was able just to lift it straight out. I've got this separate little laundry room here that also needs a new carpet and remodel badly, but I just tore open one of these garbage bags so I'd have a sort of controlled space to set everything. I'll probably put the toilet here as well. Okay, so I'm continuing with the vanity. The top of it I cut up with my sawzall into these smaller pieces, so I can use the trash can. And then, you know, it's funny, like I was about to like start dismantling this thing with screws, and then I saw in the video that I was watching, the guy just whacked it on the inside with a hammer. So that's exactly what I did. And I mean, it just comes right apart. So again, I'm really learning as I go. And some of the common sense is just not there for me. But it already feels good to be making real progress on this after thinking about it for months and months. So my plumbing and drain were kind of an interesting setup. And they came up through this bottom layer of wood, and I'm making really good use of this tool. I've been able to kind of cut around it. I'm not quite ready to just cut these off yet. Not because I have any kind of plan or vision, but just because I'm not sure if it's a good idea, so I probably shouldn't do it. But I'm just working on peeling out all this old vanity. Okay, well, the vanity is officially out. Next, I think I'll probably move on to the toilet, and then maybe the bathtub. Again, I still haven't decided what I'm gonna do with this thing. I think it's pretty nice. It's a big, old, feels like metal tub, or maybe it's just coated, but the only thing I noticed here that I'll have to figure out how to deal with is, again, this copper plumbing. I kind of know or have heard that copper is nicer, but I might end up replacing it with PEX and buying like a crimping tool and then doing some basic plumbing myself. All right, next I'm just removing the toilet. This is pretty straightforward. I just turned the water off and flushed it, and then used my shop vac to suck out the rest of the water. Disconnected the line that I turned off, so I don't know if I'll reuse this one. I don't know. It's honestly pretty nice, but it's also just like tiny. So this is in decent shape. Looks like whoever put this toilet here last used one of the decent toilet rings that actually has the little plastic funnel to help guide the wax. Okay, everything looks about the same, but I've made a little bit of progress. I took off the spigot. I'm not very intelligent. I didn't realize that there was a little screw at the bottom. So I twisted it. And then what happened was the little set screw became misaligned from the actual body of the spigot. And so I ended up just using pliers, and the actual like cheap pot metal that the spigot's made out of kind of just bent and broke out of the way. And I was able to access that little set screw. But I did damage this probably more than I'd want to reuse, which is too bad, but you know, it's what happens when you have no idea what the hell you're doing. And then I went ahead and I shut the water off in preparation to take this handle out. And I'll get this out as well. And my plan right now is I'm gonna take the shower surround out, and then I'm gonna run to Home Depot, get some 1/2-inch shark bite caps, and that way I can use the water in the rest of my house without, while still working on the bathroom here. So my plan is to tile up to the ceiling around the shower surround. So I'm going to be cutting out these drywalls. The oscillating tool works really well. I'm probably just going to do little sections at a time. One, it'll make it easier to throw it away. And also, I'm just being careful to look out for the studs and everything. Well, it is reassuring to see that there is nothing behind this drywall for me to run my oscillating saw into. On either side, there's this nice 2x4 here. It's that old growth. Look at that. That's what the house is made of. Anyway, I'm gonna go straight up to the left of this 2x4, and then probably straight up and down here roughly, parallel this pipe here. All right, well, that's all I'm gonna do for this first part. Vanity out, shower surround out, and this piece of drywall taken off. I think obviously I still am just working on demolition, so next I'll probably take these walls out. I'm hoping there's a seam right here. It looks like there might be. And then I guess I'll take the trim out and start working on the flooring. But yeah.